EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a par of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
PSGL
well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing about on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
She's ended up on the fairway, and with such a good lie, so many more options available now. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. What an outstanding shot that was.
Got the right result, too. It's just a tapping.
So, 2 under early on. Frank, there's so many impressive holes here at Wolf Creek, but the second really stands out.
Yeah. That tee box, is it 9 stories high? It's hard to imagine you can tee up that high, and obviously trying to judge distance is one thing, but also just the visual that you get.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Well, that's for sure. Plays a little longer than that, too, by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here.
That is classy.
A chance of going in.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Chance to get on a real roll.
Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. 383-yard fourth hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down there. Just find the fairway. You're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Good chance to make birdie here, Frank, as we get set for the approach here at the fourth hole.
The fourth green, as you can see, is set in a little bit of a bowl with that backdrop behind it. Really, the biggest problem is if you come up short that false front, it does feed off the right and the left side there. So, shot not quite hit as well as you would like, can still kick towards the flag.
Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Starting to feel it. 2 in a row. 5 under for the tournament. Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels. And this one just starts right of the flag.
That is just an outstanding shot right there. And now a chance for an eagle. And getting ready for the putt. Now a 7 under par. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg right, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green, once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there. Should be safely on deck.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
This will be a birdie if it drops. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And where I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Great, too.
Beautiful. Par 3/8, 248 yards down to the green. What a hole.
Yeah, maybe you put your 2 hands together, make a little prayer. You might make 2, but make 3 here and run to the next tee. This is it's just a gorgeous par 3, but it is tough. Every bit as tough as what it is pretty, as a matter of fact.
She is really dialed in. All facets of her game are clicking. This one has a chance to be close. She is putting the full arsenal of her skill set on display this afternoon. Beautiful shot.
Second shot.
That's birdie, and that's just another example of how everything seems to be clicking today, especially on the greens.
Yeah, good green reading too. You've got to take your hat off to that. The line has been perfect and the pace has matched it. Oh, I like that.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Frank, no reason here to think we're going to see anything other than another good shot.
Yeah, in a great flow, and golf like this looks easy.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Count it as 6 birdies for the day. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. So this is where club selection becomes much more important. Uphill, make sure you have enough stick, and then swing away. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A 3rd straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Knocking down all the shots today, now at 13 under. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, the par 5 12th is another case of a hole where you see that Wolf Creek Golf Club can actually be kind of scary, daunting. When you look out at the desert mountains, and then you add in some water, which we have here on the left, and you can go for some big numbers here if you're not careful.
Well, this is where the Wolf and the Creek can take a bite out of you. If you hit it left off the tee, then you're certainly going to start to rack up a number. There's enough fairway down the right, but once again, if you hit a good drive and this hole is reachable for you, then you've got to worry about the water, which is to the right of this green. 5 wouldn't be the worst score you could make around here, that's for sure. I've seen 6s and 7s.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Here's a putt for eagle. Count it for an eagle. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, well, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Oh, my goodness. That is on in one. Wow. What an incredible shot. Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see 2 par 5s back-to-back. So the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare. More hope than determination in that putt.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Has it. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side. So you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. The hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
Fraction off the center and headed to the right. Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem.
Two in a row.
Right in it. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
In the hole for birdie. Short par 4, 16th hole, measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards, but just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there, and before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here, and it should sit up nicely for a birdie.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5, 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shotter, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green.
This could be a good one. You can't ask for much more than that. About 5 feet away. Beautifully done. Good putt. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250-yard mark, and, of course, you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and, well, they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or a 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse.
No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Frank, how rare would this be if this putt drops?
Well, this is I'd like to say once in a lifetime, but on the odd occasion we do see back-to-back eagles, but it certainly is something to watch.
Good roll. Frank, that was just a dazzling display of golf today.
It's amazing how a game at times it can be so hard and just absolutely drive you crazy can appear to be so simple. This was just an absolute joy to watch today.
So that'll do it for Frank Nobilo and our entire team. I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time. 18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
Coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, calling all the action for today's event. We are here at Wolf Creek Golf Club. It's located in Mesquite, Nevada. Frank, if I didn't know that it was Mesquite, Nevada, I think we landed on the moon and they built a golf course here. This is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, 100 years ago, you couldn't build a golf course like this here. Obviously, all the equipment needed, but in the end, it's just it's wonderful. It's an absolute playground for anyone that sort of loves to play the game. It is desert golf, obviously because of the terrain, but the green oasis that cuts in between is each hole. It just sort of gives you a totally different experience because you keep having to remind yourself you are smack bang in the middle of the desert. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Oh, come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350-plus yards. Frank, what does the shot into this first green look like?
Well, it's back a little bit up the hill. Bunkers left and right, really the biggest concern, but a well-flighted shot to this 3-level green will be well rewarded.
should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Big swing right there. And a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. Locked in on the read and the speed. -2 early in the round. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. And it's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you've got a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Well done, and 3 under for the day. Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Well, that's for sure. Plays a little longer than that, too, by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here. This is right at it.
Stuffed that one in there just inside of 5 feet. Well done. Yeah, here we go. Starting to roll now. 4 under with that birdie. 383-yard 4th hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down there. Just find the fairway. You're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away.
This is a good-looking shot. What a display of shot-making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Starting to feel it. 2 in a row. 5 under for the tournament. How about this hole, Frank? Par 5 5th.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it, because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream, but you can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you can see you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up.
Dialed in once again, she has played a superb approach shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. Frank, you think she can make another birdie here?
Oh, I think so, Rich. These are the moments you dream for. You've got a string of them so far. One more keeps the run going. Oh, I like that. That's an absolute beauty.
This looks to be at least an extra club, maybe 2 clubs going way up that hill to the green. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round. Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. Well, everybody loves the short par 4. And here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop-off at the front of this green that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
No fairway here. This one in that rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Par 3/8, 248 yards down to the green. What a hole.
Yes. Maybe you put your 2 hands together, make a little prayer. You might make 2, but make 3 here and run to the next tee. This is it's just a gorgeous par 3, but it is tough. Every bit as tough as what it is pretty, as a matter of fact.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Settles in over the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Drops for a par. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off, because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Always like to get the double figures under par. 10 under already. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy finds stick in the follow-through. It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself that. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Getting set now over the putt. I mean, almost hard to believe. 13 under already. From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th. It measures 560 yards. A sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It's 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. This is an eagle putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over to the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Well, they claim it's a reachable par 4. We haven't seen a whole lot of people do it today. We just saw it right there. Well done. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone because you want to take some pictures here. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see, the other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. That's sort of 3 different tier levels and that. But let's see, birdies that to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. And it drops for birdie. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital. But it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Seems to really have the touch today. Short par 4, 16th hole, measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dogleg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here. And it should sit up nicely for a birdie.
That will be a great look at birdie. Good putt. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward. And I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
Here we go. Oh, dude, that in the hole. Tremendous shot. 18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in 1. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Mark that as a birdie on the card. Frank, you have to like what you saw out there today.
I certainly did. Swing is excellent right now. Stroke, there's nothing wrong with that. Really, just it's a case of getting out of your own way. I mean, the opportunities ahead now, chance to win, just they have to be so motivating.